If you're a new Tesla owner, congratulations. You just bought a car that can do a lot of really cool things, but there are some settings and some features that you have to turn on and enable to be able to access them. So today I'm gonna go over the top 10 settings and features that you should turn on to get the most out of your car as a new Tesla owner. And one of those first things that you wanna do is set your driver profile to save your sitting position, your steering wheel, and your mirrors, but also set a profile for anybody else who will be driving your car. And this is because there's a ton of things that are saved in your driver profile, not just your seat or your steering wheel, but also all of your logins for your Netflix, your YouTube, all of your app preferences, your AC preferences, all of that is saved to your profile. So you don't want someone changing all that stuff on you. So change it for yourself to how you want it, and then set profiles for anybody else who'll be driving your car. You can also set driver profiles for other things. Like for example, I have one that's called work. So if I'm sitting here in my car working on whatever, I have the seat set back, I have YouTube ready to go, and everything is set for me to kind of work or eat or hang out in my car. And then one more pro tip on this, you can also set one of the key cards or have someone else's phone set to their profile. So for example, if you have a spouse who's gonna be driving your car, you can have them set up his or her phone to be able to just use their phone as a key when they get in the car. And then of course that phone will be linked to their profile, so each time they get in, they'll have all their settings, and each time you get in, you'll have all your settings. The next thing you want to do is make sure you enable Sentry mode. It's one of the best features in our opinion of your car, but you have to enable it and turn it on to be able to use it. What Sentry mode is that it will record anything that comes close to your car when you're out and about and you're parked. So for example, if someone walks by your car or God forbid door dings your car, the car will use its cameras to record that so you can actually see what happened. Sentry mode also enables you to be able to view a live camera, multiple cameras from your phone, from the Tesla app, from wherever, which is very cool. So make sure you enable that. And do note, Sentry mode does take up some battery. So if you're out parked for a couple hours, just be aware of that. There is an option to exclude it at home or at work. So if you're safe parking wherever you're at work or even at home, you can turn it off in those locations. But if you're out in a random place, I would suggest turning it on because it has saved us before and it might save you as well. Now third, you want to make sure you have a way to save recording. So Sentry mode will record when you're parked, but when you drive, Tesla is recording the past hour of your drive and not saving it automatically. So if something were to happen, you want to make sure you have a way to save that footage that's easy for you. Now there's two ways to do this, I think, that are the easiest. The first is what we have. We drag that camera app to our quick icon here. So if you click on that camera, it'll record the past 10 minutes of your driving and save that footage. There's also a setting you can enable to where if you honk, it will save the last 10 minutes. That's an easy, convenient one as well. And it will save 4 different angles in the past 10 minutes of driving. So whether you want to enable it with the honk or enable it with a tap of the camera icon, make sure you have a way to do so. And do note that it won't record or save automatically if you don't do one of these two things. Number 4, next we have Autopilot. So every Tesla comes free with the standard Autopilot, but you have to enable it to be able to actually use it and agree to some terms. And really quick, Autopilot is different than full self-driving. Autopilot will keep you on the highway, keep you in your lane, keep you a certain speed and a certain distance from a car ahead of you, where full self-driving is the one that will make turns for you, stop at stoplights, change lanes and all that stuff. But Autopilot is free, full self-driving is an optional paid upgrade. But anyways, to enable Autopilot, there's a few different ways. On older models like ours, you can tap the stalk down. On newer models, it's just a button on the steering wheel. And like I said, Autopilot is standard on every Tesla. Full self-driving is an optional upgrade, but if you're taking those long road trips, Autopilot will do all of your highway driving for you. So there's no need to upgrade necessarily to full self-driving. Next, we have automatic blind spot cameras. This is a pretty cool feature Teslas have. When you turn your turn signal on, it will show a live camera feed of either the right or the left fender camera, whichever way you're turning. And you can move where you want to see this on your screen. There's 3 different options currently, but it's one of those features that's a pretty good safety feature. I know it's not Tesla specific. A lot of cars have this, but you want to make sure you enable it because it makes changing lanes so much easier. Next, we have Joe mode, an important but subtle feature. What Joe mode does is that when you're parking your Tesla in a tight spot, your Tesla will let you know you're close to a wall or a curb by giving you some signals on the screen and some beeping. What Joe mode does is it makes that beeping a little bit quieter. Not quiet, but quieter. Without Joe mode enabled, it kind of feels like the car is yelling at you for being too close, but you don't realize how much quieter those dings could be if you enable it. So I highly recommend anybody to enable Joe mode. Next, we have cabin overheat protection. This is one that I recommend turning off. What this is it's supposed to keep your interior cabin temperature underneath a certain degree that you set it at all times. Now here in Vegas or in the summer anywhere, your car will get hot. That is normal. But if you have this enabled, it could drain your battery a lot if you park outside like throughout a whole summer day. Now, even if you live in a very hot climate like here in Vegas, especially in the summers, you would think it's supposed to protect the interior, especially the computer. You don't want that to overheat, right? But what you can do instead is just get a windshield cover to protect the sunbeat hitting the computer. And I was told by Tesla employees that that is more than enough to protect that computer. So cabin overheat protection, I understand it's nice to have, it's pretty cool, but it will drain your battery a ton on those hot days and it's not necessary, so we recommend just turning it off. The next feature you want to turn on is called walk away door lock, and it's just how it sounds. If you have your phone as your key and that's all synced up, what this feature does, it'll automatically lock your car when you walk away, which is incredibly convenient. This is also a feature just like Sentry mode where you can either enable it or disable it at home. So if you're parked in your garage, no need to lock your car unless you want to. Now, number 9 on this list, you may or may not know that your Tesla will continuously come with software updates. But if you want those updates as fast as possible, you want to make sure you enable advanced when it comes to software updates in your settings here. Because Tesla does a lot of cool things with software updates. Sentry mode that we mentioned earlier was a software update a long time ago. So if you want to make sure you're one of the first ones to receive things like these, make sure you set your setting to advanced. And last but certainly not least, but pretty recent one that you can do, you want to make sure you set your left scroll wheel to a quick shortcut. And what I mean by this is if you hold the left scroll wheel in, a little menu will come up right here and you can pick whatever you want to happen when you hold the left scroll wheel in. So for example, we have ours set at open glove box. You may have heard it, but when you hold the left scroll wheel in, our glove box opens. You can set yours to a multitude of things like save dash cam footage, fold mirrors, open glove box, but there's 2 that we recommend because they're kind of hard to find in the settings. The first is the glove box, but the second is that the wipers are kind of hard to access in a hurry. So if you want to edit your wiper speed, if it's raining, something like that, you can set that shortcut to your scroll wheel so you can hold that scroll wheel in, a little menu will pop up and you could change your wipers. Well, thank you all for watching. If you're a new Tesla owner yourself, I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't yet made your purchase, I would encourage you guys to use our referral code down below, save up to $2,000 on your purchase of a new Tesla. And if you're a current owner and you watch this, let me know what I missed. Let me know what you think. But as always, catch you in the next one.